Okay, for our next segment, for anyone who was not paying attention to our previous episodes, is what we are calling Crossfire.
Crossfire, 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 crossfire.
I just love saying it like that. It gives it a little extra pizzazz. For anyone who's not aware, Crossfire is a segment where either myself or Aaron just pepper the other person with questions, and they have to instantly answer with no knowledge. I mean, here the dog again. She says hello. She just has an instinct for when that fucking record button starts.
Hey, Coco. I'm actually feeling a little bit nervous. So the first time we did this a couple weeks ago, I was the one who's asking the questions, and now the tables are turned.
The tables have turned. You are now in the crosshair of the Crossfire. Are you ready, my friend?
I think so.
Okay, do you want any kind of breakdown of what I'm going to be asking, any kind of clues, or do we want to go right into it?
So just give me a little bit, like, as an update about what the hell I'm stepping into, because I really don't know.
Okay, so we've got 10 questions here, 6 of which are hard yes answers. There's not any kind of debate, and 4 are open-ended, okay? Now, before we recorded this, I asked you, do you want me to have a certain topic? Should I just kind of go all out? And you said what?
I said you can do whatever you want, go all out.
Going all out. So we're gonna see.
I'm already regretting that.
We're gonna see how the model does. So here we go. All right. Question number 1. NASA recently released an image of a black hole for the first time ever, which confirmed the theory of relativity. Who is credited with discovering this theory?
Einstein.
That is correct. Boom. Starts off the round with a winner. How about that, though? That thing is wild.
Well, the thing I really like about it is that there was a female scientist, I think she's 29, an MIT grad student who had done a ton of computer science work to actually create that image. So I think it's a super cool story. I would definitely be telling my little ones about it.
I felt a little like Will Ferrell doing Harry Carey in SNL there, because I was like, hey, that thing is wild, huh? It's like when it's like, hey, if the moon was made of spare ribs, would you eat it? Good interview questions by me. All right, 1 for 1. Moving on. Who is Kanye West married to?
Oh boy, you're hitting me with pop culture already.
Pop culture.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm semi-confident about this one, meaning I'm not very confident. I'm gonna go with a Kardashian.
Okay.
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian is correct.
Yeah.
2 for 2 on the model. How certain were you on that?
Kim Kardashian is the only one I know, and I'm not sure where I've heard it, but I've definitely heard his name linked with Kardashians, but I couldn't even tell you in what context.
Okay. All right. That's 2 for the model. Okay. Ready?
I'm feeling it right now.
This one's pretty easy, and then we're going to start getting a little crazy.
Okay.
True or false? Russell Westbrook has averaged a triple-double for 3 straight seasons.
True.
That is true.
So true.
I mean, that stat is just unbelievable because for so long, no one since Oscar Robertson had averaged a triple-double. And I don't even know when he did that. I want to assume it was in the early 80s, maybe late 70s. And now we just kind of take it for granted. He's done this for 3 seasons in a row. It's just absolutely unbelievable.
Okay, so I will give you that it's impressive and unbelievable and everything, but to me, there's also a bit of stat chasing in there. Like his teammates around him know that if he's close to a rebound, they're actually just going to box out and let him pick it up because they know that he needs all those stats to kind of pad where he's going. So don't get me wrong, he is like a phenomenal player, super aggressive, has a total chip on his shoulder and wants to prove himself every night. But then there's also something a little that's disingenuous to me about trying to go for it night after night.
I do see what you're saying there. I can buy into that. I do think it is impressive. It's still something that we'll likely not see for maybe ever or at best a very long time. But who knows? Hell, he might do it again next year. So good job. Look at the model. 3 for 3. How are you feeling?
I feel like it's going to go downhill from here.
It's going to get a little tricky. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. The remaining questions, they go from hard, difficult to pretty damn challenging.
Okay.
Which one do you want first?
Give me the hard.
Hard. Okay. Finish this quote from Happy Gilmore, the movie that you picked for your favorite golf movie. They call that bringing it full circle, my friend.
Oh boy.
This guy spends more time in the sand than blank.
Mm.
Would you like me to repeat it?
Yes.
This guy spends more time in the sand than blank.
Is it an animal or something?
Do you want a clue?
Yes.
It is not an animal. It is a person.
Mm. I'm going to say a lifeguard. Final answer.
I'm going to give you partial credit on that.
Okay. Okay.
The answer is David Hasselhoff from Baywatch, who was a lifeguard.
Oh my God. I feel like I deserve full credit for that. Are you kidding me?
No, not full credit. A lifeguard is just, it's so generic. Like, you can't just say a lifeguard. That's like saying, hey, who has the home run record? Like, I don't know, a baseball player? I'm giving you partial credit. I think that was a good job by you. You used a lot of logic like the model should, which makes me feel good about the model. But I'm giving you partial credit. That's a half.
I will 100% take that half credit.
Okay. Now we're getting hard. Do you want the most challenging one or the one I think you might be able to get?
Yeah, I need one more to pad my confidence. Give me the one that I might be able to get.
Okay. The runner-up on The Bachelor then appears as the star of which show the following season?
Oh, The Bachelorette, man.
All right. All right. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. So for those counting at home, what are you, 5.5 right now?
Yeah, something like that. I'm rocking right now.
Okay, now for the hard one.
Okay.
This is a two-part question, so I guess it's a little loaded here, but I'm going to give you the first part. How many Fast and Furious movies have been made?
Oh man, there's been a lot. There's been a lot.
There's been a lot.
You know,
Some
I
might
don't
say
think
not. Some might say not enough.
no, I think there's been plenty. You know, I don't think it's gotten over 10. I'm gonna go with 9.
Wow, that is mighty close. The answer is 8.
Oh
Mighty
man.
close. Mighty close. I'll read them off for you, and then I'll give you the second part of the question.
Okay,
It
hit me.
started with Fast and the Furious.
I've seen that one. It's a good one.
Great one. Just pretty much a ripoff of Point Break, but great movie. Then my favorite title of all of them: Too Fast, Too Furious, but the number 2, not TWO or TOO.
No, I see what you're doing there.
Yeah. Then the third one comes Tokyo Drift, kind of the low point in the series. Then just really laziness in terms of the title. The fourth one is called Fast and Furious instead of The Fast and Furious, but okay. Then comes what's arguably the highest peak is Fast 5, followed by Fast and Furious 6, then Furious 7, and then the last one, The Fate of the Furious.
So, okay, so can I a couple of questions on this. Has Vin Diesel been in all of them?
Vin Diesel was technically in all of them. He did not appear in Tokyo Drift, minus a small cameo at the very end.
So
He was also, he was also not in Too Fast, Too Furious at all.
Wow, I'm actually impressed that you know that. You're just pulling that right off the cuff. And it's almost like Vin Diesel knew that Tokyo Drift was going to be absolute shit and decided to not be a main star in that one.
Yeah, his story is pretty wild because he comes back in for the fourth, rendition, and then it just turns into this just massive franchise. So now the second part is collectively, how much money have these movies earned at the box office? I want to know domestically and globally.
Oh man.
Do you want me to give you like a starting point over under?
Yeah. So like, how much does an average movie make?
So an average movie, if it makes $100 million at the box office domestically, it's considered a success. A lot of the Marvel and those kind of movies, they're doing $300-400 million. Titanic and Avatar, those movies are doing maybe closer to $700-800 million. But that's kind of the realm that we're giving you there.
Okay, so I bet there were some that did much better domestically and some did much better internationally. So for like Tokyo Drift, I bet that international flick was probably more popular and did better. So I need to give you 2 numbers. One for the total 8 movies, how much they've made domestic, and another number for international.
Yes.
All right. So for domestic, I'm going to say 600 million.
Okay.
And then I assume international, I assume it's smaller. So I'm going to go I'll say 200 million for all 8.
Okay, so collectively, you think
In total, yeah, in total.
okay, so you are way off, my friend.
Oh no.
Way off. Domestically, 8 movies have earned $1.7 billion.
Oh my god.
Globally, $5.13 billion.
My god, people need to stop watching Fast and Furious.
And you know what's the crazy part? They're just not going to end. They're going to keep making them. They've announced sequels and spin-offs. So we're in the fast world, man. All right, so we're moving on to open-ended. I think you did very good there. I'm going to give you, that's like a solid A, maybe an A-. So we got Einstein, we got Kardashian. You nailed the true for Russell Westbrook. I'm giving you a half for David Hasselhoff in the lifeguard. So that's 3.5. You got the Bachelorette, 4.5. And you did decently. Fast and Furious movie. So well done, sir. Time for the open-ended. All right. Since you're the model and you are blessing us with all of this knowledge, you've been winning most of our actual sports competitions. Let me ask you, what is the future of machine learning or algorithm-based sports gambling?
Oof. I think it's only going to continue to increase in popularity. I think you're seeing a ton of different things come together. For example, you're seeing these competitions start online. I think some interesting things, for example, one website called Kaggle, it's a data science competition website where folks can join these competitions, build machine learning models, and then compete against other folks to see who's more accurate. I also think you're seeing some pretty interesting stuff in the, I want to say Bitcoin world, but really digital currency world, where you're able to essentially buy digital currency, put bets down on how accurate you think your machine learning model is for whatever scenario, and then earn digital currency based on your results, assuming that they're actually good. So I think we'll only see more and more of that. I think the books will only get smarter and smarter and start using more of that ML stuff that I'm sure they already do today. So yeah, it's just going to continue to increase.
Do you think it's going to get harder for the casual fan, knowing that Vegas might be kind of relying on this data or working with a lot of these really smart, algorithm math-based numbers? Not that they're not already, but, do you think it's going to make it harder?
I don't think the average person cares. I think the average, or I'd say the non-average bettor, so the folks who are, pretty smart and are trying to build models, will realize that this is only getting harder and harder to be profitable, and you'll see more and more likely to drop out unless there's a change in terms of live betting or something that they can try to quantify and improve and then build models around. But I think for the average bettor, I think you only see that increase as the popularity in the US increases as it gets legalized state by state. So I don't think it really matters to them.
Okay. Good answer. You got 3 left. If you were the commissioner of a major sports league, how would you integrate sports gambling?
It would be hard. I would want to make sure that the players are immune. I'm not sure how to do that.
But I can add, this was a major concern back in the day, but don't you think the athletes are getting paid enough where they're not going to risk, making a really significant bet on a game by throwing a game? You think about how much money it would take for them to actually pay off, throwing a game, that you'd have to organize the whole team. I feel like it's, they're making enough money where they're not going to want to do that necessarily to throw a game.
Yeah, I think throwing a game is different than, some of the prop live betting stuff that you could be able to do and that would maybe come online in the future, and maybe what I'd be working toward as a new commissioner. So I could very much see, some live betting happening. Let's think of a baseball game. Let's think of Max Scherzer, Washington National pitcher, is going against Bryce Harper, his old teammate now playing for the Phillies. And I, as a person listening or watching the game, want to bet on that specific outcome, right? So I'm going to bet that Scherzer is able to get an out here, and the player should just be immune and maybe either not know that's happening or not incentivized to try to alter his or her behavior. So that's probably something that I would want to do as a commissioner, set up a structure like that, try to get some type of income based on allowing that to happen, because that'll only help the league in the long term, but you'll still have to protect yourself about it.
What do you think from a fan standpoint, though? Like setting up kiosks or, doing things like daily fantasy in the realm? Like, how do you see that affecting how fans interact with the game?
I think everything is so mobile now. I would want to stay away from investing in any of the infrastructure. So like having a kiosk in a stadium, I'm not sure it would be a go-to, because you're forcing people to get up from their seats and go somewhere. I would really invest in like the mobile era, right? So like I'd work on building an app or integrating it into my MLB.com or whatever site or app that I already use, and trying to make it as a seamless experience as possible so that you can get people who are already there betting on games and make money from other income opportunities.
Okay. Interesting. This one is pretty relevant since we just talked about it. How many majors will Tiger Woods finish with in his career? Now, he currently has 15. What do you think he's going to finish at?
Not 15. He's going to win more.
Whoa, give me a number. Jack Nicklaus is 18.
I'm going to say 17.
Whoa, you think he makes a little bit of a run but falls short?
Yeah, I don't think he gets the whole way there. So just to be clear, so when we're talking about majors, we're talking about the 4 majors in the regular men's PGA kind of circuit, correct?
Yes, that's correct. So it's the Masters, the US Open, the British Open, and the PGA Championship.
Okay. So it's not like he can get on the senior tour and
Nope.
and clean up a little bit.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, I know we'll be talking about this in another segment, but I just think rooting for Tiger, especially when he's back and he's been on a huge hiatus from golf, with his results, is just probably one of the highlights of sports for me. I think it was just fantastic to see him out there, especially at the Masters doing so well and pulling it off.
Yeah.
But I think he will be winning some more. I do not think he will catch Nicklaus, but I'll be rooting for it.
Okay. And then my last question is also very relevant and pressing, considering all that we've done together on this podcast and in certain challenges.
Uh-oh.
Will the model ever beat the man in a movie challenge?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
I like your confidence, but I don't think it's going to happen, my friend.
I will admit I've been really struggling with this pop culture stuff. I have not got the result that I've wanted so far, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen in the future.
That's true. That's true. We've got a fun baseball movies one coming up, so we're gonna have that hopefully out sometime soon and during the baseball season. So we'll see how you do with that one, man. Best of luck for that one. But until then, I got the crown.
I think this is the one that's going to give me the W.
All right. Well, so you're done. Crossfire's finished. How do you feel?
Oh, I'm happy to be out of the hot seat, and I cannot wait to put you in the next one.
I will say you did pretty good, man. So hats off to the model. You survived your first Crossfire. You're a stronger, more informed algorithm because of it.
Crossfire.
Crossfire. All right. Good segment.